Okay. Let's give this a go. Right, got a few minutes. Let's get ready. Input is okay. And then I need to... This is okay. Right. Let's get the stream ready. Okay. Hello talk. Live. Start an event. That's not it. English lesson. Valentine's Day and love languages. Visible to all. Copy this. Just a few more minutes. Let's put this here. And then so many buttons to press. Okay. Let's get everything ready. This is okay. What is happening to my lips? Right. We're just getting ready. I'm just sorting out my lips. I have such dry lips. Okay. Right. Hey everyone, how's it going? Just getting ready. So lights, check. Control panel, check. I feel like a rocket scientist getting all of this equipment ready. How is everything going? I see Anita, Aurora, Joy, Eagle. Nice to see you. How are you guys doing? Did you have a nice Valentine's Day? I hope you enjoyed your box of chocolates or whatever you received. Hi Anita, how's it going? Right, I'm just gonna check everything's working. You can see me, you can hear me loud and clear, and then it's also streaming on YouTube, so that's fine. And then let's put that there. We'll start in about maybe, let's say 5-10 minutes. We'll wait for people to come on. And let me just quickly share the event. Oh, I am. Let's see. Let's cancel that. Okay. Is this still... Sugar. I think we're back. Okay, sorry about that. Let's... Okay, and we are back. Sorry about that. Let me share my screen again. Let's go to Window OBS. And then here. Is it working? Give me a second. Oi, oi, oi. Always a problem, isn't it? Okay, that should be working. Can you see my face? Okay, right. So that should be sharing there. Give me a few minutes to fix this. Right. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Thank you very much. Hi, Marina. How's it going? Okay, so this is all good. Oh, Maya from YouTube. Nice to see you. Yes, so today I am streaming on both YouTube and Hello Talk at the same time. So fingers crossed everything will work, but let me just get the presentation ready and you can see everything should. Oh, that's not the right one. Let's go over here. You can see there's a lot of technical problems. There we go. Okay. So we're gonna start in a few minutes. For now, you can see my screen and me. But yeah, what did you guys do for Valentine's Day? Anything special? Today we're gonna talk a lot about, you know, Valentine's Day traditions, some things about love languages, and maybe a few romance-related idioms and language. So I hope that you can learn something today. But yeah, what do you guys normally do in your country? Today I'm gonna introduce some things about British Valentine's Day, but in your country we have people from Italy, Japan, China. What do you do on Valentine's Day in your countries? Anything special? Right. We'll get ready to begin soon. Get yourself a nice cup of tea. I have my little cup here. This is a... Does anyone know what this is called in English? In Japanese, you call this fugu. But in English, we would call this a puffer fish. Because the fish puffs up like a balloon, like... Right? This is called puffing up. Yeah. So, I'm going to pour myself a quick cup of tea from my flask, and then we can begin very soon. Ah, Maya from YouTube. In Japan, girls give chocolates to boys. That's right, exactly. I think usually in... I don't want to say too much because we're going to share it in the live stream. But yeah, Japan is quite unique when it comes to Valentine's Day traditions. But anyway. Alright, so I think you guys have waited enough. So, you can hear me loud and clear. If there are any problems, just let me know in the comments or the chat, okay? Alright, why don't we begin? Let's jump into the lesson, okay? Oh, sorry, that should be... No, it is the screen. Okay, right. So, today we're going to look at Valentine's Day and love languages, okay? So, here you can see 5 things. We have service. Oh, it's doubling up. Ah, there we go. Okay, sorry, 1 second. Let's get this here. Okay, that's better. So, we have things like service, time, words, gifts, and touch. These are the 5 love languages, but what are they? Well, I'll introduce that later, but first of all, we have to look at a few questions, okay? To warm up and test your Valentine's knowledge, I want to ask you guys, what is the false statement? Let's read these together, starting from A. The first Valentine's card was sent from prison, okay? And B. Men spend more money than women on Valentine's Day. And C. Young students receive the most Valentine's cards. Okay, so which one do you guys think is false? Which one is wrong? Okay, I'll give you 10 seconds to share your answers in the chat. You know, A, B, C. Which one is false? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's have a look. And the answer is actually C. Students are not the ones who receive the most cards, it's actually the teachers, and I'll show you why. Very good. Some nice guesses in the chat. First of all, the first Valentine's card was actually sent from prison. Now, it's not 100% clear, but according to some history books, the first card was sent from prison, a very not so romantic place. But actually, teachers actually receive the most cards. In America especially, it's very common for children to make Valentine's cards at school, you know, in elementary school. And often they are too young to have a real love, so they will just give it to their parents or, in most cases, their teachers. Okay, that's very nice. I wish I got lots of Valentine's cards. I'm a bit jealous. So, let's move on to the second question. Which one is false? A, 20% of pet owners buy something for their pets on Valentine's Day. B, 10% of proposals happen on Valentine's Day. And C, in London, lovers spend on average £40 on Valentine's Day. Okay? So again, I'm going to give you 10 seconds to guess. Sorry, I just want to quickly set my recording. There we go. Sorry, I forgot to press a button. There we go. Okay, so let me press the right button. There we go. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, and I've already shown you the answer because I pressed the wrong button. Sorry. So yes, in London, actually lovers spend more than twice that amount. They spend about £86 on Valentine's Day. Yeah, that's quite a lot, personally. Okay, maybe I'm just stingy or cheap, but I would not. £86, that's a lot. But I guess it depends on what your partner likes, like what kind of gift they like. Yeah, some people don't like spending a lot or receiving a lot, but it does depend on the person. So, but yeah, this really surprised me, actually, because I didn't realize that so many pet owners actually bought something for their pets. I think that's wonderful, yeah. Of course, the pet probably doesn't realize it's Valentine's Day and they just think, oh, I'm getting lots of presents, that's nice. But they probably don't understand the idea of Valentine's Day. It's just like their birthday, right? You can buy a nice dog cake for your dog, but they won't understand what's happening. They think it's just more food. But anyway, yeah, that was really surprising to me. Right, let's move on to the final question of the warm-up. Which one is false? A, men send more flowers than women. B, men send more alcohol than women. And C, women send more cards than men. Okay? So, thinking about from your experience, again, this is talking about the whole world, not just your country. Of course, every country has its own traditions, but generally, which one do you think is false? Okay, we have a few answers already. Alex says B. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's have a look. Wow, it's actually women send more alcohol than men, yeah? So, I don't actually know why this is, but my theory is that men drink more alcohol than women. But then again, I often see many women, like beer, red wine, and things like that. So I'm not sure that's true, but that's my guess. But according to the data, women send more alcohol than men. Yeah, I think men are very lucky to receive alcohol on this day. But anyway, nice ideas. Thank you very much. Yes, well done, Maya and Alex. You were spot on. Okay, right, let's jump into how did Valentine's Day begin? Well, Valentine's Day, we often take it for granted, right? We think, oh, it's a nice romantic day. Lots of couples get together, spend time together, and. But how did it actually begin? Well, the answer, we have to go back in history. And it actually involves a lot of violence. So, a long time ago, I didn't research all of the specifics, but there was a man called Saint Valentine, yeah? And he was a very holy man, a very wonderful person who helped the local people in Italy, or more specifically, Rome. As you may know, Rome was a very kind of wonderful place, very, how do I say it? A place that affected history and culture, but it wasn't always a nice place. For example, we have this man, Emperor Claudius II. He was in charge of pretty much everything from the economy to the armies. And back then in Rome, there was a lot of fighting. But Emperor Claudius II had a problem. There was a problem with marriage. Now, I'm going to quickly ask you guys a question. Marriage is a wonderful thing, but for Emperor Claudius, he was only interested in fighting. He was only interested in getting more power. So why is marriage a problem for Claudius? Why doesn't he want his people to get married? Any ideas? Hi, Yulia. Why would the emperor not want his people to get married? Any ideas? I'll give you 10 seconds, yeah? Because the emperor, he wanted more power. He wanted to fight more. So why is marriage bad? Any ideas? Well, the answer is actually because he needed more men to fight in the battles, right? And if he's got a lot of people who are married, of course, these married men don't want to go to war and leave their wife behind, and the wives don't want their husbands to go to war. So actually, he banned marriage back in Rome. He banned it and forced many people to go to war to fight. Yeah, and this was a huge problem. So he completely stopped the marriages. And then Saint Valentine came along and thought, well, this is really unfair. Marriage is something wonderful. We should celebrate marriage. But it was illegal. So what Saint Valentine did was he started to conduct secret weddings, yeah, away from the eye of Emperor Claudius and away from the main cities. He would conduct these secret weddings to celebrate love. But the problem was, Emperor Claudius actually found him, and in the end, he executed him because he broke the law. And it was to show an example to his people that marriage is not okay. Yeah, so Saint Valentine, of course, he helped a lot of people celebrate their love, and many people were very grateful to him. So that's why on this day, February the 14th, we celebrate Valentine's Day to remember his sacrifice, Saint Valentine's. This is the biggest theory. Okay, it's not confirmed, not 100%, but this is the most common, popular theory. Okay, so that was a bit of history about the origin, the start of Valentine's Day. Okay. Now let's look on to cultural differences, okay? I might need a bit of help from you guys in the stream today, but first of all, let me introduce a little bit about the UK. But first, a quick question. What is this? What is happening here? Any ideas? One word, or maybe 2 words. Can anyone tell me what is this? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have from Chia a love letter. Very good, Maya as well. Perfect. This is a love letter. Yeah, very romantic. Nowadays, of course, we send cards, but we usually Valentine's cards. Again, I guess it depends on the person. But from what I've heard, most people just write a short message, you know, I love you, I want to spend the rest of my... I don't know what people write. But these long love letters, yeah, before we had social media, before we could text people anytime, we had to write much longer letters to, you know, tell them everything about what's happening in our lives, and it wasn't so easy to communicate. So love letters were much more common back then, but nowadays, unfortunately, it's not so common. Instead, we often give things like a bouquet of flowers, yeah, nice bunch of roses. A box of chocolates is another very safe option. But if you're feeling a bit more fancy, you might take them to a romantic dinner, yeah? Now, a quick question to all of you, you know, those of you who are in a relationship. When it comes to presents on Valentine's Day, what kind of presents do you like to receive? Do you like flowers? Are you a big fan of chocolates? Or maybe you prefer a romantic dinner? And if you like a romantic dinner, do you prefer a home-cooked dinner? Or do you prefer to go to a fancy, high-class restaurant? What do you guys think? Yeah? Any ideas? Can you guys share with me? Because I would say spending time. Just a dinner, whatever, a movie. Just spending time with my partner is probably my favourite thing to do. Like, gifts are nice, but just, you know, nowadays people are so busy with their work and life, it's very rare to get that chance just to be alone with your partner, right? But, there we go. Alright, let's move back. So these are common presents in the UK, and the key point here, you can see, we give presents between men and women. We exchange gifts. And this will be important later. Now let's move on to the next country, China. Yes, on Hello Talk, many people from China. I'll be very honest, I do look Chinese, but I'm actually, well, my mother's from Hong Kong, but I grew up in the UK. So I'm not so familiar with this. I had to do some research. So if I get it wrong, please tell me. But in China, there's a special day, different to February the 14th. They actually have a special day on the, 7th of August. Sorry, not the 7th of August, 7th of July. Yeah, 7th day, 7th month. And this is called the Qixi Festival. Again, I don't know the pronunciation, but there's a long fairy tale about this woman and man. They loved each other very much, but they got separated for many reasons, very kind of similar to Romeo and Juliet, if you know Shakespeare. But on this day, to celebrate this story, it's very common to have a romantic holiday. And another nice thing, in China, they have these desserts, treats called, I don't know how to pronounce this, kao gao or something like that, yeah? It is an absolutely delicious dessert that many people love to enjoy on this holiday, okay? Alright, now let's move on to Japan. Now, I know a bit more about this. I've done a lot of research, But as you see here, there is an arrow here going one way. And that's because in Valentine's Day, usually women give chocolates to men. And there are two types of chocolates here. There are things what we call giri choco, which are obligatory chocolates. These are chocolates that you give to your friends and family, to say thank you. But it's not a romantic chocolate. However, honmei choco on the right here, a bit more fancy. Maybe you might buy it from a chocolatier, or if you're very skilled, you might make it yourself. These are the real chocolates that you give to your one true love, okay? Or your girlfriend, yeah? It doesn't have to be your girlfriend. If you're not in a relationship, you might give it to somebody who you have a crush on, somebody you're interested in, but it takes a lot of courage, right? But I have a question to Japanese people, because as a boy, again, women or girls give chocolates to boys. When you receive the chocolate, you don't just say, this is obligatory chocolate or this is real chocolate. It's up to the man to guess, right? And sometimes it's very clear, right? If you hang out with this guy very often and you're always joking, then maybe, it's clear this is just a friend chocolate. But what if it's not so clear? In love dramas and many situations, romances often start as just friendships, right? So if you're a guy, imagine, and you receive a girl that you're very close to, like really good friends, and you kind of like her, you might think, is this a friend chocolate? Or is this like real chocolate? Does she like me? And then you start getting excited. You ask your friends, what do you think? And then everybody gets very excited. I guess a bit of mystery is always exciting, isn't it? But anyway, maybe some of you Japanese people can tell me, how do you tell the difference, But anyway. So, let's move on to the next thing. In Japan, as I said earlier, usually on Valentine's Day, the women give chocolates to the boys, but 1 month later there is a special day called White Day, which we do not have in the UK and America, I think, where men return these chocolates to the girls that gave them chocolates. Yeah. As I said, this is only in Japan, maybe Taiwan and Korea. If anybody is from Korea or those countries, please let me know. Do you have White Day, or is it just Japan? There you go. Oh, I see Maya teaching us from Japan. You know very well if it's a real chocolate or just a friend chocolate. Girls say これは義理チョコ. Oh, girls will directly say, this is just a friend chocolate. I see. Okay. It's kind of sad, but well, no, okay, just ignore that. But it's good to be clear, right? If you want to tell somebody you love them, be clear, confess your feelings, go 100%. I love you. Okay, maybe not like that. That's a bit cheesy. But anyway. So, let's move on to the next thing. In Valentine's Day, people often worry about gifts. If you're thinking about the simple gifts, it's always a good idea to get chocolates or alcohol, but if you want something a bit more unique, a bit more special, then you're going to have to look a bit harder. So let's have a look at the first picture. I apologize, this is a bit, blocked, but what are these? Well, I think you know what these are, but what is unique or special about these flowers? Can anyone tell me? What is unique or special about these flowers? Okay, any ideas? I'll give you, again, 10 seconds to share. What is unique or special about these flowers? You can see they don't look just like any normal flowers. Yulia said artificial flowers. Very good. Exactly. Can anyone tell me what kind of material these are made of? Bit of vocabulary practice. What material are these made of? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. These are actually Lego flowers. And as you know, Lego... Oh, Karin got it exactly. Not just the material, but the brand. Yes, these are plastic Lego flowers. Well done, Maya, Karin, and Yulia. Thank you very much. Now, I have a quick question to you guys. Practical or romantic? When we buy gifts, often we have to decide. Do we want something romantic or practical and useful, right? For example, if you buy a bouquet of roses, they're beautiful, they're romantic, but they're gonna die. They're gonna wilt, after maybe a week. I guess it depends where you are, but real flowers are beautiful, but they're not so practical. But on the other hand, Lego flowers, okay, yes, you don't have to replace them. You can put them there for the whole year. They don't even need water. But it's not the most romantic thing, right? So what do you guys think? Is it better to give romantic gifts? Or is it better to give practical, useful gifts? Yeah, and for you, which would you prefer to receive? Would you prefer to receive, real flowers? Or just something useful? Any ideas? Anybody want to share? Hi, Jas, how's it going? Personally, if it's Valentine's Day, I would just appreciate any gift. I'm very easy to satisfy. I would be like, oh, real flowers, awesome, thank you. And then if they give me plastic flowers, I was like, whoa, where'd you find this? You took the time to search for this, awesome, thank you. I'm very easy to please. But maybe you guys both, yeah, Maya? Interesting. But yeah, we often say it's the thought that counts, okay? I can't type both in YouTube and Hello Talk at the same time, but a great idiom or saying we say is, it's the thought that counts, okay? Maybe you can Google that. In other words, the result or what we get is not so important. It's the kindness and the fact that our partner was thinking about our feelings, yeah? So it's the thought that counts, okay? What was it? Both, I see, Yulia. And then Alex, I gave my wife flowers with something useful. Oh, there you go, Alex. Best of both worlds, yeah? Something practical and romantic, yeah? Alex is a very smart man. There we go. Okay, so let's go back to the next gift. Let's have a look at number 2. And this one's very interesting. Before I did research for this, I had never heard of this kind of thing. I know the text is a bit blurry, but you can see here, made for you too. Okay? And I've hidden the very big hint, but it says here, 1/2 cool, 1/2 warm, 4.5 tog and 10.5 tog. Okay? So, do you guys have any idea what this is? I'll give you another hint. Here it says, better sleep for everybody. Better sleep for everybody. Right. I'm gonna give you some time to use your detective brains. What do you think this is? If no one has any ideas, I will give you a hint. Right. Okay. I'm going to give you a quick hint. Half warm, half hot. A common problem that couples have is that some people sweat a lot and are very hot, and some people are a bit more cold. Their hands and feet are always freezing. Yeah? Usually men tend to sweat a bit more, maybe because of the temperature, maybe they're larger, I don't know. And women tend to be a bit colder. So that's why women want to have I don't want to give you the answer. Okay, anyway, I'm going to show you the answer. It's actually a blanket, and I saw Anita got it. You hit the nail on the head, very good. This is a blanket, or in the UK we also say duvet, yeah? So this is actually a fascinating item where half of it is probably thinner or like better for the man, yeah? The man sweats a lot, doesn't want a very thick blanket. But for the women, they have a thicker blanket to keep them warm. And if you look in the, what was it, this part here, sorry. If we look here, 4.5 TOG. TOG is a measurement of temperature. We usually use this for blankets. Can I quickly show my Google Chrome? Can I show you guys? 1 second. Can you see my screen here? Ah, there we go. Let's have a look. What was it? TOG. Thermal overall grade. You can see here. I don't know what countries use this. Definitely the UK. But you can see here. It looks like it's also used for baby clothes and things like that. Maybe it's usually materials. But most commonly it's used to talk about blankets. And when you buy blankets, it will usually show the TOG rating. Okay? But there you go. Nice bit of information for you there. Okay? Do you guys have these TOG ratings in your country? Let me know in the chat, yeah? I think it's quite useful, but then again, I wonder, like, how do you know what is the best rating for you, right? I guess you just know from experience, but anyway. There you go, yeah, Karin, Maya, it is quite impressive and interesting, isn't it? There you go. Right. So let's move on to the next gift. Oh, sorry. Quick question. Do you think it's better to separate or share? Do you think it's better to share a blanket together, or do you prefer having a separate blanket? I mean, some couples actually sleep in separate beds because some people, maybe the man or the woman, usually it's the man, they will be like, and they will just, does anyone know what we call this? When you're sleeping and you go, what's that noise? Anybody? I'll give you 5 seconds. Thank you very much, Chia. That is the word snore. Snore. S-N-O-R-E. If your partner snores when they sleep, oof, good luck getting a good night's rest. It's very difficult, isn't it? I mean, I also want to ask you guys, how do you deal with a snoring partner? What do you do? Do you wear earplugs? Or do you sleep in a different room? Or do you just deal with it? Do you just try to sleep? Like, oh, what do you guys do? Interesting. Oh, Maya, nice try. It's not a sneeze. Sneeze is like... Yeah, it's when you have allergies and hay fever. But nice try. Sneeze. Two. Snore. Like that. Okay. But very good. Yulia, you think separate is better. Yeah. I guess separate is more practical. But sharing a blanket is more romantic. Right? There you go. Again, practical, romantic. Which one? But there we go. So, let's have a look at the next thing. Now, the last one, and this is very interesting. Let's have a look at this. Here, what are these? Now, you might think this is... Sorry, I just saw a comment from Maya. She kicks the partner when he's snoring. How horrible. No, I'm joking. Anyway, sorry. So, this... What is this? Can anyone tell me the name of this object? You might put your car keys, your house keys on this object. What do we call this thing? Happy from India. Very good. We have key rings. rings. Very nice. But, as you can see, these are not just any normal key rings. There's something special or unique about these key rings. Now, there is a hidden secret here. I'm going to give you a bit more time, because this one's a bit more difficult, but what kind of keyring is this, and what is this pattern? Does this pattern remind you of anything? Does it look like anything that you've seen before? I'll give you a few seconds, and then I'll give you a hint. Oh, that is a nice idea. Chia says it's a recorded voice, and Mehdi says it's the Spotify logo. Yulia also says it's the Spotify logo. That is right. It is the Spotify logo. And the thing here, we call this a waveform or a sound wave, yeah? When you listen to music, sometimes you can see this like audio visualizer, like when it gets loud, it goes big, and when it's quiet, it goes small. This is the kind of sound wave, or the waveform. Now, the very interesting thing, I have opened here on my phone the Spotify app. There is a function, and for you people who are watching on Hello Talk, maybe you can't do this at the same time, but if you go to Search, the second tab here, and then in the top right, you can see there's a camera icon. On my screen, right here, there's the Spotify logo, and each keychain has a different waveform. And if I quickly scan the thing here, let me do it. There you go. It comes up with Adele. It comes up with a playlist, a customized playlist. And maybe you don't know this, but every playlist you make on Spotify, every single one, has a unique code. And it's this thing here. Every playlist has a unique code. The first one is Adele. And the second one, what is the second one? Let me quickly do this. There we go. The second one is this Verbal Cartel. I have no idea. But anyway, there are 4 different playlists here. But yeah, this is a gift where you can... I actually don't know how you buy this, but you make a playlist, you convert it into a code, and then you can pay someone to print it onto this kind of key ring, yeah? And I think a very romantic thing that many couples do is that they will listen to similar songs. Many people bond and become friends or lovers because they have very similar music tastes, right? So imagine your boyfriend or your girlfriend, they know all of your favorite songs. And then they, slowly make this playlist, and then they give you this keychain. And then you scan it and you think, wait, you made this? And you can see how well they know you and your tastes. And this kind of like customized gift, I think it's awesome. I think this is the best kind of gift. But you have to be careful, right? Because if you don't get the right songs, they just put random songs and it doesn't match your preference or tastes, and it might actually backfire and not be a very good gift. But there you go. Interesting. So let's move on to the next thing. Those are some interesting gifts that you can give to your partner, okay? But let's move on to something very important, something for your studies of English. Love phrasal verbs, everything you need to talk about romance, yeah? Now, phrasal verbs are some of the most annoying things. They're so difficult, you have to be very careful. But let's talk about the most common phrasal verbs for romance, okay? So, it might be a good idea to get a piece of paper and a pen to make some notes. But again, I will show you the answers and you can take a screenshot later. But if you want to do a bit of practice, I'm going to give you 1 minute to match the phrasal verbs here on the left, we have cheat on someone, ask someone out, and so on. And the meanings are here, but they are not in the right order. You will need to connect these to the right expressions, okay? So I'm going to give you 1 minute while I quickly have a drink, and you're going to match the phrasal verbs to the meaning, okay? So, 1 minute. Bit of silence. I can hear everybody focusing and writing. I can imagine you guys in my classroom right now. Okay, and I'm going to give you 30 more seconds. We're halfway there. 30 seconds. If you're not sure, just have a guess. Have a guess. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, how did you guys do? Let's have a look at the answers. 3, 2, 1. I pressed the wrong button. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we have to cheat on someone means to have a secret sexual relationship with someone other than your partner. Now, it says here a secret sexual relationship, but this is a very interesting cultural difference, but cheating, is it having sex, that is sleeping together, or is even just kissing, is that cheating? Or is it even just messaging, having like a spicy, conversation, maybe on Hello Talk, you're texting, language exchange. You have a partner and you know it's wrong, but you like a bit of spice in your life and you're sending a message. Where is the line between cheating and not cheating? But anyway, having a sexual relationship with someone when you have a partner, that is definitely cheating. Well, in my opinion, I think everybody thinks this, but having a sexual relationship is definitely not okay. That's cheating. Asking someone out to confess your love and ask someone to be your boyfriend or girlfriend. Yeah. In a lot of romance dramas, there'll be a guy or a girl or a student who say, please, I think you're the most... Okay, I'm not going to act. That's gross. That's disgusting. Anyway, you ask someone out, you say, will you be my boyfriend? Or will you go out with me? Or something like that. Okay? And number 3, break up with someone. I saw some people already wrote this very good. To end a relationship. Okay? Now, keep in mind, break up is when you're boyfriend and girlfriend. But if you're married, we use a different word. One word. Any ideas? What do we say? Break up is when you're a boyfriend and girlfriend, not married. But if you are married, you divorce. Very good, Yulia and Tam. Thank you very much. Yeah? So divorce. A terrible situation. Now we have making out with someone, to kiss intensely. I'm not going to act, but you see two people, they're like, anyway. But another interesting cultural difference. Is it okay to make out with someone in public in your country? In the UK, it happens, especially on a Friday night when everybody's drinking, dancing at the clubs. On the street, people are so drunk, you will often see people, making out in public. But in your country, is it okay? Is it weird? Is it normal? Like, do people make out in public. Tam says, yes, it's not too wild. Interesting. I think in a lot of Asian countries like China, Japan, Korea, I think it's not so common. And this is where like things like holding hands is okay, I think, in Asian countries. But kissing is definitely not okay. But things like hugging, like with friends, physical contact is another cultural thing. Like in the UK, I might go, hey buddy, how's it going? And then, pat on the back, hug them. But in Japan, I wouldn't do this, right? With my Japanese friends, because it's not normal. But in the UK, boyfriend, girlfriend, not romantic, just friends, we would hug. No big deal. Yeah, so it's a cultural thing. But making out with people, not so good. Bella in India, not so common in public. Interesting. There you go. Very good. Thank you very much. So the next one, we have to hit on someone. Yeah, to show someone you're attracted to them. Yeah. For example, a sexual comment. Again, if men are drunk, they might go, oh, I can't do it. They hit, I can't whistle. You know when you do this thing, like you go like this, and there's like a high-pitched noise, and then it's to usually get a girl's attention if they're like walking by. Or I don't know, a guy might be like, hey girl, you're looking good, you're looking fine, hot, or whatever. It's quite rude. It's not very elegant or polite, right? I definitely would not do this. It's really funny. We were driving in the car, and my father did this whistle at a girl as a joke, right? We were talking about like romance and things, but my mum wasn't listening, and he thought he was serious. And my mother was sitting behind my dad, and he was like, "Hey!" Smacked him on the head. It was really funny. Anyway, sorry, stupid story, but yeah, hitting on. Usually a girl. Girls can hit on boys, but it's more common to be the other way around. They might be like, hey, you're looking good, or something like that, yeah? It's to make a kind of sexual comment, right? Now be very careful, because you need to say hit on someone, because hit someone has a very different meaning. For example, my mother hit my dad on the head. He hit my dad on the head. My dad hit on a girl on the street. Hey girl, you're looking good. He hit on the girl on the street. Okay, so hit and hit on are very different things. Be very careful. You'll hear it in Italy all the time. Oh my gosh, Italy. Well, I have this image of Italy and France being very romantic kind of countries, right? Paris, city of love. But is it so elegant in real life? Maybe you can share in the comments. But anyway, let's move on. We're running out of time. So, I pressed the wrong button. Oh, no, that is right. Here are some example sentences. I gave you some examples earlier, but now it's your turn. Now, pay attention. Here, you can see the dashes. That means how many words, okay? So, for example, there were some really rude guys. 2 words at the bar. And remember to use the correct preposition. These are phrasal verbs. Yeah, cheat on, ask someone out. The order is also very important, so pay attention. And also, bonus, use the correct tense. Present, past, future, ing, gerund, all of that stuff. Make sure to change the verb into the correct tense. Okay? I'm going to give you 1 minute. 1 minute to use the phrases in the correct sentence. Again, these are not matching. Yeah, so this one might be down here. This one might be down here. And remember to use the correct form. Present, past, future. etc. I'll give you 40 seconds. Again, be very careful with the order of the words and the preposition on, out, with. This is why phrasal verbs are so difficult, right? It's because sometimes the object goes between the preposition and the verb, but sometimes it goes next to the preposition. Sorry, next to the verb, yeah? So be very careful. Okay, I'm going to give you 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm just going to quickly read the comments before we go into the answers because there are some interesting comments. Bella says it's illegal to kiss in public in India. I didn't know that. I thought kissing in public, I knew it was illegal in like Dubai, like Muslim countries, I think. And Maya says it's really embarrassing. I guess kissing in public is very embarrassing. So yeah, maybe it's not a good thing. Interesting. Okay, right, let's have a look at the answers. Thank you for waiting. Wrong button. Okay, right. Here we go. Alright, so I'm going to read the sentences out loud for you, and maybe you can follow along while shadowing, okay? So, 3, 2, 1. I would never cheat on my partner. I love him too much. Okay, I would never cheat on my partner. I love him too much. Yeah, you definitely want someone like this, right? Okay, the next one. Should I ask her out? I don't know if I have a chance. One more time. Should I ask her out? I don't know if I have a chance. Yeah. So, a person with low confidence might be like, oh, I don't know if I should ask her out, but if I were the friend, I would say, definitely, ask her out, go for it, yeah? If you don't, you'll regret it. Should I ask her out? Next one, to break up. She said that she wants to break up with me. I just can't believe it. Yeah, a bit of emotion. She said that she wants to break up with me. I just can't believe it. Yeah. There we go. Maybe I should be an actor. Anyway, sorry, stupid. Next one. Ew. Don't make out with him here. Do it in the bedroom. Yeah? Ew. Don't make out with him here. Do it in the bedroom. This phrase, or this sound, ew, this is a very natural native sound. It's almost like onomatopoeia, like ow, or something. Ew is showing disgust, like, ugh, that's gross. Some people say like, ugh. Some people say ew, okay? Now, of course, sometimes you shouldn't be so direct, right? Like, let's say I'm wearing, I don't know, a pink shirt and a dark green sweater, and you don't like the color combination, and I ask you, hey, what do you think? What do you think of my clothes? And you say, ew. Why did you choose those clothes? I'll be like, oh, okay. And I'd get very sad. I might cry. But ew, yeah, it's a funny reaction, and if you're with close friends, great. But be careful with using this word. Ew, that's gross. Yeah, making out is gross. Do it in the bedroom. Do it in private. Okay, now, let's go back. Hit on someone. There were some really rude guys hitting on me at the bar. There were some really rude guys hitting on me at the bar. Okay, so that is the final one. How did you guys do? Yeah, did you get all of these correct? I will quickly give you a chance to take a screenshot. Maybe if you're on your phone or PC, you can take a quick screenshot of these notes. But actually, Let me take a screenshot. Can I post images in the chat? No, we'll leave it. Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's move on to one love idiom. Yeah, earlier we looked at phrasal verbs, but this is a really nice idiom you can use. Love at first sight. Okay, this is a wonderful idiom for Valentine's Day. This simply means falling in love the first time you see someone. For example, we bumped into each other on the street and it was love at first sight. I fell in love instantly. Yeah? Okay. This is a very romantic. In the dramas, you often see the scene where a guy and a girl, they bump into each other, they crouch down to pick up the papers, and then they look into each other's eyes. It was love at first sight. Okay? Sometimes, as we spend more time with people, we learn more about them and slowly realize that we are in love with them. Yeah? But love at first sight is the opposite of this. It's a situation where you're incredibly attracted to someone's looks or first impression, even though you know nothing about them. So, is this true love or just a fake feeling? Let me ask you, have you ever experienced love at first sight? Is love at first sight true love? These are both really interesting questions, and I posted this as a writing exercise, yeah, because everybody has a different story of how they met their first love or their partner. So for you, if you have a partner now, was it love at first sight or did you fall in love slowly? Or if you don't have a partner, have you ever experienced love at first sight? Yeah. For me, I think I have experienced love at first sight, but you know, kids, we're very simple. We see a girl with pretty hair and then we're just like, oh, she's beautiful. Like, I want to, I don't know, play tag with her. I don't know. But Katerina says love does not exist, but Tam says yes, it's possible. Interesting. So we have two sides of the same coin. Thank you, Maya, for asking, have you? Yes, I have. And I think love at first sight, I don't think it's true love. I think true love is, you know, understanding someone, both the good and the bad, and accepting them. Sorry, I can't speak well today, right? It's accepting the good and the bad. But you don't know anything about them with love at first sight. You only care about their appearance. So I don't think it's true love, but maybe it's the start of a true love. Who knows? Okay, hormones, interesting. Okay. Right. Sometimes a human's intuition is more precise than logical thinking. Wow, very nice window. I like that. Yeah, sometimes our gut feeling, our first feeling, is more accurate. Because when we think, do I really like her? Or maybe she doesn't like me. Like, sometimes we just think too much. So, okay. Right, let's move on. Thank you very much. That's great. Great answers. Let's move on to the next thing. What is love? This is surprisingly one of the most difficult words to define, give a meaning to in the English language. I'm going to quickly give you guys a chance. What is love in just one sentence? We use this word all the time, right? I love my family. I love her. And I love food, right? But what is the definition of love? Any ideas? I feel like Channing Tatum is my star crush. Channing Tatum is very handsome, you know, those A-list Hollywood actors. Chris Evans, Arnold Schwarzenegger, no, he's a bit old. Matt Rife, oh, interesting. I like Matt Rife, he's very funny. He is very handsome, isn't he? Matt Rife, very good. So what is love? Getting back on topic. Let's stop thinking about the handsome men in the world. It is fun to talk about crushes, but love and romance are different. Interesting, Maya. Can you tell me more about that? Windle, love is the feeling towards something that makes you happy. Interesting. I agree. Love definitely makes you happy. It's necessary to become happy, right? And Ryan Gosling. Love triggers the release of dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin. We have a scientist here, somebody who has studied the brain chemistry. But it's true. Love does release dopamine in the brain. It's the happy feeling hormone in our body, yeah. We often feel this hormone when we hug people, when we get a compliment and things like that, yeah. Just go with the flow. Love can be toxic, Tisu. That's right. Yeah, love can be terrible. It's not always fun and games. Some people have different definitions of love, but a simple one is a strong feeling of attraction. Yeah. It can be to anything. It could be to a person, it could be to food, or it could be to an experience. But I wrote to like someone very much, but it can be anything. Okay. Now, there are 3 main types of love. I talked a little bit about this earlier. I gave some examples of this, but what do you guys think are the 3 main types of love? Any ideas? I'm talking about people specifically. What are the 3 main types of love? 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, I see. Some people are giving some idioms. Interesting. Blinded by love. Love is blind. Blind meaning you can't see. Those are some really nice phrases. Well done, Tisu. And Queen Latifah. Yeah. When we are so obsessed with someone, when we're so in love with someone, sometimes we ignore the bad things, or we choose not to look at the bad things, right? We believe they're a good person, or we make excuses for them. But yeah, love is blind. Blinded by love. Those are great phrases. Oh, it's on Netflix. Interesting. Oh, that's right. Family, friends, and a partner. Family, food, and a lover. Yes, our family and food on the same level. Yeah, maybe some people love food more than family. Relatives, friends, and love relationships. Very good. Lots of good ideas here. Thank you very much. Well, in my opinion, the 3 main types of love, you could argue there are more, but we have romantic. This is for the opposite sex or the same sex, girlfriend, husband, whoever. It can be platonic, meaning friendship or closeness. Yeah, it's not sexual. A platonic love or relationship. And finally, we have self-love. When we think about Valentine's Day, we often focus on the romantic type of love, right? But to be really happy, we also need love from friends and family. We need to feel like they want us, yeah? But actually, the thing I want to quickly focus on is self-love. Because self-love is actually really quite difficult. I don't know how many of you can truly say 100%, I love myself. I love everything about myself. Or rather, I love the good things about myself and I accept the bad things about myself. How many of you, like, if you can say this about yourself, please let me know in the chat. Like, how do you feel? Do you love yourself completely? Do you hate yourself? Or are you on the fence? Are you in the middle? Are you like, yeah, I like myself sometimes, but sometimes I don't like my own personality? Because self-love is really difficult. I think everyone has struggled with this, and especially with people who have depression. These people hate themselves. And they think that all of their friends and family don't like them either. Yeah. It's not just self-love from you to yourself, but it's also you believe that other people don't like you either. Right? And this is connected to confidence and things like that. But Tisu, of course, I love myself more than my boyfriend. So we have a very strong self-love, but maybe not so strong romantic love. That's interesting. Yeah. Self-love is me having a big dinner. Yeah, you gotta treat yourself. You gotta be nice to yourself sometimes, right? You can't always push yourself so far. Yeah. Windows says he can't. Oh, I hope you can at least, like yourself a little bit. It doesn't have to be 100%. And I think most people, including myself, I think it's impossible, almost impossible to love yourself completely. But I hope, you can learn to love yourself. Some people, Queen Latifah, on the way to loving themselves more. Maya, I believe that by filling yourself with love, you can love others. That's a really good point, Maya. There's what was it? There's a famous saying or a phrase or something. It's something like, if you want to love others, you must first love yourself. Thank you, Maya. Great idea. Oh! My PC just went black for a second. Is everything okay? Yeah, you can see me? Okay. So, let's see. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Sorry, my stream is working. Okay, so back to the lesson. Yeah. Self-hatred and being selfish, people are insecure. Yeah, some really good ideas. Thank you. When you love someone, sometimes you forget about yourself. Ooh, interesting. That's a good point. Sometimes when we're so focused on the other person, especially, I guess, when your partner is struggling. Let's say, for example, your partner has a medical condition. They're sick, or maybe they're disabled. You have to spend a lot of effort and time taking care of them, right? And this is love, right, for them. And I really respect people who can do this. But you have to sacrifice a lot of time and effort, and often yourself, or rather your mental health and physical health, can get worse from taking care of others. And that's where sometimes you have to take care of yourself first before you can help others. Yeah. Anyway, Justin Bieber, love yourself. There you go. But very good. Let's move on. So, if you don't love yourself, what kind of things can happen? I want to quickly ask you guys, what is the problem? If your friend is having trouble and, they don't love themselves, what kind of problems can happen? I just talked about this earlier, but what problem might happen if you don't love yourself? I'll give you 10 seconds. We have some great answers here. Interesting. Very good. Well done, thank you very much. They become an awful person. Interesting. You might become a bad person, that's very true. Yeah. You might have low self-esteem. Very good. You don't get any motivation. Very nice, yeah. If you don't love yourself, you think, well, I can't do anything. I'm going to be, this bad for the rest of my life. Then you don't have any motivation to do anything because you think you won't change. Disappointed, very good, yeah. Insecure, very good, and that's strongly related to confidence. They might not be able to believe that someone could love, them, something. Very good, Julia. I completely agree. Yeah. So let's have a look. Inferiority complex. This is quite a high-level word, but the word inferior here means not as good as, worse than. Yeah. If it's a very fancy way of saying, for example, he is inferior to me, means he is not as good as me. I'm better than him. An inferiority complex is a strong belief, even if it's not true, it's a strong belief that you're not as good as anyone else. You're the worst. Everybody else is faster, better, stronger than you. Yeah? And it's kind of linked to imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is like when you're at work, you feel like you shouldn't be there. You feel like you got the job just through luck and that you're inferior to everyone else. Yeah, inferiority complex, imposter syndrome, very similar. Okay? So, what's a simple word for inferiority? Not as good as, worse than, something like that. Yeah, it's not a common word. Inferior. Another problem might be lack of ambition. People talked about motivation earlier. Ambition, motivation, very similar. Fear of failure. Because of this lack of confidence, because of this inferiority complex, we fear failure. And finally, tunnel vision. Tunnel vision is quite a nice phrase, meaning you focus too much on one thing. Imagine you're in a tunnel. There's nothing to see except the end of the tunnel. You're looking for the light. You're focusing on one thing. When you're focusing too much on one thing and you can't look at the bigger picture, you can't think about other things, this is called tunnel vision. You would say, be careful, don't get tunnel vision. Yeah, be careful of tunnel vision and things like that. Look at the big picture. That's the opposite of tunnel vision. I apologize. I wish I could type all of these phrases, but unfortunately I don't have the time. But tunnel vision, focus on one thing. Look at the big picture. Look at everything. Okay? So, if you don't love yourself, we often tunnel vision or have tunnel vision and think, ugh, I'm terrible, I'll never change. And you don't think about the other things. That maybe like the nice comments you get from other people. But my message to anybody that has low self-confidence or can't love themselves is that you're not. We are not alone. Okay? I know this is very cheesy, it's something that everybody says, but in most cases, we all have communities, sports club, Hello Talk, YouTube, yeah, we're here right now in this live stream together, all chatting together. It's okay to reach out, yeah, and sometimes it's actually easier to talk to strangers about our issues, yeah. Especially on Hello Talk, there are many people posting moments like, I'm lonely. I don't know what to do. I have this situation at work. It's really surprising how open people are on social media. And maybe that's because we're kind of anonymous. We have a username, but you can't find our address, right? But we're not alone. It's okay to reach out and talk to people, and actually, if you ask for help, many people are happy to help. But I know, especially if you're depressed, it's not always easy to ask for help, and one of the biggest problems is that you feel like you're making trouble for the other person. You think that the other person maybe doesn't like you or doesn't want to help you. but often that's not always the case. So remember, we're not alone. Okay? All right. If you don't love yourself, something difficult will happen. It was a great lesson. Thank you. No worries. Thank you for taking part, Maya. We have a few more things to look at. Let's have a look at famous love quotes. Quotes are things that famous people have said in the past. Martin Luther King, Shakespeare. But here are some of my favourite quotes about love. From A. Milne. If you live to be 100, I want to live to be 100 minus 1 day, so I never have to live without you. Wow, look at this man, he's so handsome. Well, actually, I don't know. Is he handsome? Do you guys think he's handsome? He's got that old school charm, right? But anyway, if you live to be 100, I want to live to be 100 minus 1 day, a little shorter. Yeah, I want to die 1 day before you so that I never have to experience life without you. Isn't that a bit selfish? Because it's like, no, I'm dying first. You can live alone for 1 day, but I can't stand it, so I'm dying first. See ya. Anyway, but maybe a more kind option would be, I wish we could die at exactly the same time or something like that. We get the feeling, we get the idea, yeah. I cannot live without you. If somebody said this to you on, Valentine's Day, hey, if you live, and blah, 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 I'm not going to say the whole thing, so I never have to live without you. How would you feel? Is it too much? Is it too cheesy, too beautiful? Because, some people, they try too hard. And this is the thing with, pickup lines. Many men, when they approach a girl at the bar, they try and hit on a girl at the bar. They try to think of a clever joke or a clever line to really, make them fall in love with them, right? They might say something like this. It's too much, in my opinion. A very common pickup line. It's terrible. I hate it, but I think it's really funny. But one line in the UK, we often use it as a joke. We know it's very bad, but you might say, we go up to a girl in the bar and we might tap them on the shoulder, or we try to get their attention. We might say, hey, are you okay? And then you might say, what? What do you mean? And I might say, does it hurt when you fell from heaven? In other words, you're an angel. And then many girls would be like, oh, they would face palm, or they'll just be like, bye, okay, see ya. Or some might laugh because it's such a bad line. But hey, did it hurt when you fell from heaven? Oh my gosh, get out of here, gross. But anyway, but yeah. Let me quickly read some of the... Yeah, it is very cheesy, as in definitely. Yeah. Honeymoon phase. Yeah. There we go. So, let's have a look at the next quote. Okay. Brendan Francis. A man is already halfway in love with any woman who listens to him. Okay. This is quite an interesting quote because it says, a man is already halfway in love with any woman who listens to him. I don't know what Brendan was thinking when he said or wrote this quote, but my interpretation, my opinion, is that there's a very common problem for men. And this is related to gender stereotypes. Often, there's an old school way of thinking that men should be very masculine. This can be physically strong, but also it means emotionally strong. When you're stressed, when you're sad, when you're angry, you should always stay calm, and maybe you shouldn't express your feelings, right? And many men, I have heard this before. Usually it happens with younger couples, but there will be young boys or teenagers or young men even who have a stressful experience and they talk to their girlfriend and suddenly they'll start crying. Yeah, the tears just keep going, they don't stop. And for the woman or the girl, again, this is not all women, this is just certain people, but they will think, ooh, are you okay? And they feel a bit awkward and they think, oof, yeah, this guy, he's got a lot of problems. And then they think, maybe I'm not interested in this guy. This is a bit too much. I'm okay, thanks. And then they will break up the next day, for example. There's this, I think this is to do with like Hollywood movies and old dramas as well. There's a stereotype that men need to be strong. So, going back to the quote, if a woman listens to a man is already halfway in love because it's so rare. Again, this is my opinion, okay? But, yeah, I think women are very good listeners generally. I think actually women tend to be better listeners than men, from my experience. But, yeah, of course, it's very important to listen to both each other in any relationship. Don't bottle up your feelings, it's no good. But, we have some people who disagree. Interesting. I don't know exactly what you disagree with, but there we go. Okay, let's move on to the final quote. Elaine Davis said, "Loved you yesterday, love you still, always have, always will." Okay? This is a very nice quote. Yeah, it's a bit of rhyming. Loved you yesterday, love you still, always have, always will. Talking about the past, present, and future. Okay? I think this is a nice quote, just a very elegant quote to use, or at least know. Okay? I just want to quickly go back to the previous quote because somebody said something interesting, I think. It says, some men spend their lives looking for the same attention their mom used to give them. Interesting. Yeah, that's true. It's important to be independent, and it's important to, not complain about every small thing. Yeah, your partner is not just a wall that is going to listen to all of your problems, right? It's important to know when is the right time to share your problems and when is the wrong time, right? But yeah, it is very difficult, and there are men like that. When women want to listen, men always avoiding. Ah, interesting. Yeah, I don't know if they're avoiding it, but yeah, that's true. They don't realize that the woman is happy to listen, and the woman will ask, "Hey, are you okay?" And we're like, "Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay." And one reason might be because they want to look strong, and the second reason is maybe they don't want to cause trouble for the other person, or some other reason. Okay? But anyway, let's move on to the next thing. Earlier this week, I posted this picture on social media and I asked you guys to guess what the topic was, and many of you said Valentine's Day, which is correct. But here we have 5 things. Acts of service, quality time, words of affirmation and receiving gifts, and then physical touch. Can anyone tell me what these 5 things are? Any idea? I'll give you a big hint. It was in the title of this, presentation. These are the 5 love languages. These are the ways we give and receive love. Okay? And I'll give you some more examples about what exactly these are, but we have 5 main love languages: service, time, words, gifts, and touch. Some of these are quite easy to understand, right? We show love and receive love through gifts. That's probably one of the easiest ways to show love. Words, things like compliments, yeah? Saying, guys, wow, you guys are doing a great job, or something like that, yeah? Of course, the words need to be genuine. It can't just be flattery, right? I'm sure we've all heard this comment, like you're studying English or Japanese or whatever, say, hey, wow, your English is so good. Where did you learn it? Or something like that. We've heard these compliments millions of times, and often it is flattery, but sometimes it is a real compliment. But you need to be careful of compliments because sometimes it doesn't sound real. We have things like time, and that is just spending time with other people, you know, hanging out, watching a movie together and things like that. Service is doing things for someone else. That is, for example, let's say your partner comes home and you see them. It's the small things. Sighing. Maybe just their shoulders, their body language. Maybe the way they put down their bag. Normally they put down their bag on the table, but this time they go, they just put the bag on the floor. It's doing things for them when you don't have to. It could be like, you see them tired and you think, oh, don't worry about the dishes, I'll do it today. Or maybe, hey, you hungry? I'm planning to cook something. You were joking, you weren't really planning, you suddenly decided because you saw them. I'll make you curry, it's your favourite dish. Yeah, like that kind of kindness is an act of service. This is one way of showing love. Okay. I think this is one of the most difficult ones because, of course, you need to watch your partner carefully and you need to know their situation, right? So, acts of service, and then finally, touch. This is very intimate, very physical. It can be something like, you know, kissing, hugging, or something a bit further. Yeah, maybe in the bedroom. I can't whistle, flippin', damn it. Anyway. So, the 5 love languages. Now, one problem when we have relationships is that there is a mismatch between how we give and receive love. Not everyone is the same, okay? For example, maybe the man likes gifts. Maybe they like video games, specifically. And maybe they like being complimented. However, if, for example, the woman doesn't understand their interests well enough and they decide to give them a hug, or maybe just watch a movie with them, their needs or their wants might be left unsatisfied. Yeah? Like, imagine a guy before their birthday. It's not just Valentine's Day. These love languages are important all time of year. But let's say it's coming up to the birthday and the guy gives a hint to the girl like, this new game's coming out, but I don't have enough money. Like, I wish I had enough money to buy Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. They try to give you a really big hint, right? And then the girlfriend, maybe they don't hear, or they ignore it, or they forget, right? And on the birthday day, here is a box of chocolates. Yeah, you love chocolates, right? Yeah, happy birthday. And then they go off. This mismatch or miscommunication, yeah. Sometimes it's actually better just to say, hey, what do you want for your birthday? Yeah. If you are really confident and you know what your partner wants, then it's a nice surprise. I think it's better to surprise them. But if you're not sure, I think it's better just to ask or say it directly. Because if you just guess, it's a bit of a gamble, right? And but yeah, again, it's the thought that counts. But yeah, sometimes there's a mismatch in communication, and this goes both ways. Yeah, maybe the man decides to, what is this, touch? Yes, maybe hug. Cuddling on the sofa. You see that scene where couples are like hugging on the sofa and they're watching a movie together. The woman's head is on the man's shoulder. Oh, so romantic. Anyway, but touch is very important for some people. But time, yeah, maybe they misread the signals and they get the wrong answer. Okay, but maybe there is some agreement. So in this case, they are partly satisfied. Okay? Alright, so I'm just going to quickly read the comments because I've been going on for a while. We will all be happy when we can get all 5 of these things. Yeah, that's true, right? If you receive everything, compliments, physical touch, gifts, time, service, you have found the golden partner. You have found the perfect human, right? And I think everyone is capable. Everyone can do these 5 things, right? It just requires a bit of thought and planning and consideration. I'd be happy with anything I receive, Maya says. Oh, that's very cute. Yeah. Especially when you have a partner for a long time, sometimes the fire of the romance, it slowly dies away. You need to keep things spicy. You need to, surprise your partner every now and again, okay? But not everyone is so lucky to have this kind partner. Love yourself and find another man, Nancy says. Oh. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Finding a new partner is sometimes the best idea, yeah, if your partner is not just not loving, but if they do bad things, if they abuse you with words and they never appreciate you, then you should maybe think about finding someone else. Very good. But it's not always so easy to leave a relationship, right? So why do relationships fail? Well, it's usually because we're not giving or showing enough love, yeah? Or maybe it's just because you don't understand each other, miscommunication and these kinds of things, yeah? These situations lead to divorce or breaking up, okay? Now, how do we improve relationships? I'm going to take a quick drink, but can you guys give me some advice? How do we improve relationships, not just romantic relationships, but thinking about family, friends? How do you maintain and improve relationships? What do you guys think? Maya says, I think it's cute how my partner doesn't understand it. Is that cute? But I think I know what you mean. Okay, maybe I don't. Anyway. So, how do we improve relationships? It's better not to start the relationship. Oh, that's so pessimistic, so negative. But I can understand, yeah. If you enter a very terrible relationship, yeah, sometimes we just regret it and we wish, oof, I'm better single. I'm happy not having a partner. Communication, definitely. Meeting and talking face to face. Yeah, clear communication, definitely. Yeah. If you're not sure, just ask, right? But I know it's easier said than done. But how do we improve relationships? Well, there are 2 main things, and you guys already said this. First one, open communication, yeah? Hey, what makes you happy? Are you angry? Can you tell me why? What's wrong? Are you sure you're okay? Simple comments like this can be enough, right? You don't even have to give advice sometimes. Often we just want anyone to listen. Because the reality is, we're all so busy with our own lives that we often forget about others when we're stressed with work, when we have exams and we have other problems, health problems. So it's very easy for us to forget and watch other people, right? And this is what's so amazing about kindness and kind people, is that kind people are kind even though they do have their own problems and troubles. And those people will rarely, again it depends on the person, but kind people sometimes don't share or tell you about their problems, and they always look very happy. And they always look like they have no problems at all. But sometimes those people are the people you need to watch very carefully, because they're good actors. They're good at hiding things, and they don't like causing trouble for others. So if you think about your friends right now, think about the kindest people, the people who always look happy. Watch them carefully. And if you have a feeling that something is wrong or not normal, just ask them, hey, is everything okay? Like, today you seem a bit different. And if they say, no, I'm really fine, and it's true, then yeah, that's fine. But it's better to ask just in case, even if it's a small chance. Well, that's just me. Okay. Right. So let's move on. I think it's important to always have something you respect about the partner. Very good, Maya. I completely agree. If you don't respect your partner, it's very hard to love them. Right. And the second thing is careful observation. And I talked about this earlier, watching people carefully, right? Super important. Realizing the small things. But both of these things are very important for any relationship, not just romantic. Okay? Let's move on to the final thing. How to speak your partner's love language. After today, if there's one thing that I want you to learn today, it's how to communicate or how to show love to your partner. And maybe you can teach them about love languages too, yeah? Because of course, you don't want just to give, you want them to give back, right? So here are different ways to show and receive love. Ooh, wrong one. We have 5 love languages, again. Words of affirmation, touch, gifts, time, and service. Now, let's have a look at the first one. If you're communicating through words, how do we communicate? Wrong button, sorry. This is encouraging, affirming, appreciating, and listening, yeah? So actually, I say words, but listening is also, communicating, listening. That's one way to show love, not just compliments. What should you do? It can be sending an unexpected note, a text, or a card. Yeah? I'm sure we can all understand that feeling when you get a text or a message from a friend that you haven't spoken to in a long time. Right? Maybe months, maybe a year. You get this message, you think, oh, it's nice. Yeah, and they send you a message, not like, hey, I need something. It's like, how are you doing? By the way, how's your job going? I remember it was quite stressful when you joined the company. Is everything okay? Having this unexpected message, makes us really happy. Well, it makes me happy. I don't know about you guys. But yeah, okay. And things to avoid. What shouldn't you do? Not recognizing or appreciating effort. Yeah? If your partner does something for you, they buy you a nice dinner, they buy you a really nice present. Yes, say thank you, but make sure, to show, be very clear about why you're happy, why you're thankful. Yeah? So, because actually saying thank you is not something we remember to do every day, especially for the small things. Okay? Thank you for washing up the dishes the other day. Or thank you for taking care of me when I was sick. Many people think these are just natural, you should do it, and yeah, it's true, but it never hurts to say thank you. Right, physical touch. This is body language to show love. Yeah? For example, hugs, kisses, and cuddling. By the way, the difference between hugging and cuddling, hug is just like this. It can be between boys, girls, boyfriends and girlfriends. Yeah, it's just more of a friendly thing. Yeah, and it's usually for a short time. Often as a greeting. Hey, how's it going? Hug. Cuddling is something that couples do, often like on the sofa. Like, you know, arm over shoulder, and like head on the shoulder, and they're kind of like, you know, I don't know, in romantic movies they smell each other's hair. Ugh, gross. No, I'm joking. Cuddling is a bit more intimate, it's a bit more special, very romantic, yeah? You would not do this with your friend, unless you love them in that way. Okay, so what shouldn't you do? Definitely no domestic violence, physical neglect or abuse, hitting, slapping, anything, even if it's small, not okay. Not okay. Yeah. If it's like, for example, pat on the back, or like as a joke, like, stop it, that was a terrible joke. But again, be very careful, because some people think a joke, some people are naturally very strong and they're not good at controlling their muscles, so they might mean it as a joke, but they go too far. But anyway, yeah. Okay. Receiving gifts. Of course, make your partner a priority. Yeah, think about what they like and give the right gift. Give thoughtful gifts, gestures, express gratitude, say thank you when receiving gifts. It's very similar. Finally, unenthusiastic gift receiving, forgetting special occasions. Yeah, forgetting an anniversary or a birthday is a big no-no. Yeah, or when you receive a gift, you're like, oh, thanks. I didn't want this, but thank you. Never say that. That's terrible. But on the flip side, remember, don't just give them, well, sometimes it's okay, just a normal gift like alcohol or chocolates. When you can, give them a special gift, something you know they love. Video games, a book, or something like that. Finally, two more things. Quality time, that is focused conversations, one-on-one time, yeah? No distractions. Have a dinner, a home-cooked dinner, a restaurant dinner, and do not take your phone or do not look at your phone. Just put it away, put it in your bag. No distractions. Just today, I just want to focus on you. Yeah, this is quality time. It's terrible when you go out with friends or your partner and they're always looking at their phone. No good, no good. Create special moments, take walks, do small things with your partner, yeah? This is why it's important to share hobbies. Because doing hobbies together, doing puzzles, knitting, something you both enjoy and you can do for many hours is great for bonding and sharing your love. What you shouldn't do, again, distractions, looking at your phone, and long time without seeing each other. This is why long-distance relationships are so difficult. It's because you don't get that face-to-face quality time. Yeah, you can have online conversations through Skype, HelloTalk, or whatever, but it's just not the same. You don't get the physical touch, and it's just a very different experience. And the last one, acts of service. Let them know you want to help lighten their load. Yeah. Sometimes you don't even have to do anything. You just have to offer and say, hey, but by the way, I'll take your bag. And they'll say, no, but thank you. Yeah. I might say, hey, I know you're tired. I'll cook dinner. And they might say, no, it's okay, but thank you. Yeah. So even if you don't do the action, at least offer. Yeah. And then things like making breakfast or dinner or helping with chores. And it says here, go out of your way. And this means do something voluntarily. You don't have to do it, but you offer, you choose to do it. Because if it's already your responsibility, like for example, you already agreed before, okay, I'll take out the trash and, sorry, rubbish. Rubbish is British English and I'm British. Take out the rubbish and I will wash the dishes. Yeah. If you've already agreed and it's a rule and it's expected, then it's not really something to be thankful for, or rather, it's not a surprise. But when you go out of your way to do something, you say, I know that you cook normally, but you're tired, right? So I'll cook today. Whoa. Your wife or your husband, whoever does the cooking, they will love you. Well, I hope so. I would love that, yeah. But something like that. And what shouldn't you do? Any guesses? Lacking follow through on small and large tasks. Ah, yes, follow through, very important. To follow through with something means to do what you said you will do. There are many people who say, for example, tomorrow, don't worry about the rubbish. I'll take out the rubbish. You focus on your work. I'll do the rubbish. And then, after the day, the next day, you forget. And then the wife, or the man, whoever said it, they think, ugh, he forgot. He didn't take it out. Fine, I'll do it. And then they do it. This is a recipe for disaster, yeah? So make sure if you say you're going to do something, do it. Follow through with that promise, okay? But sometimes we forget, and that's normal, yeah? What was it? We forgive and we forget, forgive. It happens sometimes, but don't let it happen too many times, okay? So, those are the love languages. Now, you've gotten very far. You've listened to my boring voice for, I think it's almost 2 hours. Give me a second. Okay. Now, we're going to review everything we've talked about today. We're going to look at the phrases, the history, and situations that we talked about today, and we're going to go through a quiz. Okay, are you guys ready? I hope you are ready to answer some questions. Now, sorry, actually, I should quickly read the comments. I don't want to ignore everyone. Yes, it's a Valentine's Day lesson. You love to cuddle your kids. Actually, that's a good point, Jason. Hi, Jason. Cuddling can be with your children. It's a very cute action, right? But if you're like two older adults, like a 30-year-old son and 60-year-old father or mother, you wouldn't cuddle. It's quite childish, okay? All right, so let's move on to the quiz. Are you guys ready? Let's have a look. What are the 5 love languages? 1, 2, 3, or 4? I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Which one? Read the answers carefully. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's have a look. It is number 3. Very good. Touch, words, service, gifts, and time. Friendship is not one of the love languages, okay? But it is a part of love, okay? Next one. Which of these is not a reason why relationships fail? Okay? Be very careful. Which one is not a reason why relationships fail? This one's actually quite difficult because we have a negative word here, fail, and then we have not, so it's almost a double negative. And then we also have, we don't understand each other, we don't try to communicate. I'll give you a clue. In other words, if you look at the question, which of these is a reason why a relationship might succeed? Which of these is good for a relationship? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We carefully observe each other, yeah? 3 of these are negative. We don't understand each other, we don't communicate, we forget to show our love. These are all bad, right? But this, observing each other, watching each other, will not cause your relationship to fail. It's not a reason, okay? Very good. I'm glad some of you got this wrong because I think my questions are too easy often. What idiom means to fall in love the first time you see someone? And if you look here, the letters for the first word has 4 letters, the second word has 2 letters, and so on. Do you remember? Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This should be easy, guy. I only gave you 1 idiom today. Very well done. We have himitsu. Thank you very much. The secret man or woman. Love at first sight. Yeah, very good. Nandakke? What was it? Very good. Esther as well. Very nice. Yeah, this is a nice phrase to use when talking about romance. Which of these is an example of the service love language? Number 1, making breakfast. Number 2, complimenting someone. Number 3, giving hugs. And number 4, reserving a nice restaurant. This should be easy peasy. I should have used a different example. I just realized. Any ideas? Guys, this was too easy. It's because earlier I gave the same example, or rather here, if we look here, it says here, service, making breakfast. Wait a minute, where is it? Ah, there it is, yeah, here, at the bottom. Making breakfast or dinner, yeah. So, I should have given a different example, but anyway, making breakfast to someone is definitely a example. Okay, let's look at the next one. Ooh, bit of history. I'll be very impressed if anyone can remember. What was the name of the Roman emperor who banned marriage? I'll be even more impressed if you can spell the name. K. What do you guys think? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm not surprised you guys don't remember. You don't need to know. It's not important. Emperor Claudius. Claudius II, okay? Valentine-san. Valentine was the name of the saint, the person who did these like secret marriages. But the person who banned marriage in Rome was this terrible man. The man who was focused on power, Claudius II. In this picture, what are the men doing to the woman? 1, they're hitting on her. 2, they're making out with her. 3, they're cheating on her. And 4, they're breaking up with her. Right. 3, 2, 1. They are hitting on her. They're like, hey girl, did it hurt when you fell from hell? Anyway, stupid jokes like that, yeah? And when I see this at the bar, it's like when you see 3 or 4 men crowding round one girl, it's just like, ew, don't you think? It's just like, I don't know how to explain it. I'm not gonna talk about it, but yeah, I just, it feels gross. And it makes me want to help the girl, but then again, I don't think the girl would want my help. I'm not a very charming or handsome man. Maybe if I were handsome and charming, maybe I could help her, but anyway. I'm talking too much. They are hitting on her. Complete the famous quote from A.A. Milne. If you live to be 100, I want to live to be... What's the phrase? You don't need to know this, but do you remember? Just for fun? I want to live to be rich. That is hilarious, Esther. I love it. Not the right answer, but very good. I think we had an answer from Fafa. 99. Oh. If you live to be 100, I want to live to be 100 minus 1 day. In other words, 99. So I never have to live without you. Oof, how romantic. Okay. Now, that is the end of the lecture. Thank you guys so much for joining, and just a few announcements before we finish. I did just release this morning a quick podcast about Valentine's Day. I talked about a few different things, a bit of culture and a bit of self-love and things like that. It's not the same as today's presentation. The contents is a bit different, and it might be good for your listening. So if you're interested, you can find that on my channel, Eric English. And then I also, on my social media, Instagram, Facebook, and so on, I often upload or post things almost every day, things about idioms, writing practice, and things about tips, advice on how to improve speaking, listening, vocabulary, and all of that stuff. So if you want to see that, you can follow, subscribe, find all of that stuff on here. Okay, Eric English for Facebook and YouTube, Curio English for Instagram, because the name was taken. Okay, my Instagram and Facebook are very new. I just made it like last week. So if you're interested and you want to receive updates on new videos, new live streams, and everything, you can find me over here. Okay, but for now, I hope you all enjoyed the live stream. I'm going to quickly read some of the comments. Oh, Maya, thank you so much for doing lots of comments. I appreciate it. This lesson will eliminate divorce. Unfortunately, I don't think it's that easy, right? Because, you know, everybody's different. Everyone has different problems. So, yeah. And thank you, all of you. There are lots of comments and answers in the live stream today. So, yeah, I hope you found it useful. I'm going to try and copy the slide with the language. Where was it? The phrasal verbs. I will post it on social media again. This one, here. Okay, so that you can use it as review practice. You can use it to help you remember these phrases, okay? Because these are super useful for your daily conversation, not just Valentine's Day, okay? And my final announcement, looking at next week. Next week, I will be doing another live stream on dramas and movies, okay? So that is next week's topic, probably on a Saturday, not a Friday. Today I was not so busy, so I live streamed now, but usually it will be on Saturdays, at around this time. Okay, so dramas and movies. This is a very useful topic. Everybody, most people like dramas and movies, Netflix. So we're going to talk about all the language. It's going to be a long lesson, I think, because there's a lot of language to talk about. The story, the characters, the genres, and everything to do with movies and dramas. But this will be hopefully a very useful lesson for all of you. Okay? Now, does anyone have any, final questions or comments? I'm going to quickly read them. Thank you so much, Maya. No, thank you. And everyone else. And then, humorous online room. Is it humorous? It's just me. I'm just by myself. I don't think I'm that funny, but if you enjoyed it, wonderful. Great stuff. And thank you for the lesson. Thank you, Esther, for joining. Yeah. But that's pretty much it for today. I'm going to stay to answer any questions about romance, about maybe English in general. But yeah, if you have anything that you want to ask me before I leave, please let me know. Oh, my throat is killing me. I need a drink. 1 second, please. There we go. Oh, I think I've got a bit of a blocked nose. Not good. What do you guys do for a blocked nose? Maybe I should just, I don't know, drink honey? No, that's for a sore throat. Anyway. But yeah, romance is tough, isn't it? It's a really complex subject, and every relationship is different. So I think as long as you try to understand your partner, you should be fine. It's the thought that counts. Thank you, Maya. I really appreciate it. I'm glad a lot of you enjoyed the lesson. Yeah. Because these romance phrases and idioms, they're useful any time of year. But yeah. When I was making this presentation, I was thinking a lot about my love life, right? Thinking about my first love and love at first sight and things like that. Interestingly, as you may know, I'm British. When I grew up in primary school, that is elementary school for American English, I grew up as the only Chinese or Asian boy. I was British by nationality, but my face and ethnicity was Chinese. And I saw just British girls. And at first, I think my first crush, I don't think it was true love, but my first crush was a British girl. I still remember her name, first and last name. Oh my gosh. But what was it? I had many crushes over the years, but I noticed that after I graduated from university, when I started meeting more people from different countries, I started to prefer, in terms of appearance, Asian girls, like Chinese, Korean, Japanese. And it makes me think, do humans naturally prefer, for appearance and love at first sight, do we naturally like the people around us or the people who are similar to us? Or do we tend to like other people? Like something, how do I say it? Foreigners or people from other countries. Because I know some people, I think most people like people who look similar to themselves, but others also like foreigners, and they feel like they're so different and exotic. But yeah, I don't know about you guys. So Maya says nasal nasal rinse. I should do that, but it feels so it feels gross, right? But yeah, I should do that. That's the quickest and most efficient way, right? Thomas, you're a talented young man. I enjoy your talk show. Is it a talk show? I don't know if it's a talk show, but yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed the lesson. Oh, Jason says, I like foreigners. Interesting. Yeah. There's there's a nice idiom that you can use. This is not so much appearance, but it's just general relationships. But we say, birds of a feather flock together. Meaning, similar people tend to gather. Whereas the flip side, or the opposite of this, would be opposites attract. Imagine a magnet, north and south, opposites attract. Yeah. So, quick question to you guys. Your partner, are they very similar to you in personality or appearance? Or are you complete opposites? I'd be very interested to know. Ooh, Jason, birds of the same feather flock together. Yeah, I'll write that down. Birds of a feather flock together. I'll write that in YouTube as well. Can I write that in YouTube? Oh no, I have to go to the website. Sorry, 1 second. Give me a moment. How do I... birds of a feather flock together. Okay. But yeah. I went to an international school, and there were people from many different countries, like Africa, Hong Kong, China, not so much from Korea or Japan, but sometimes Europe, Italy, Spain, and I took it for granted. Back then I thought, oh, this is just normal, but actually it's very rare to be able to hang out with so many people from different countries. But anyway, I'm going off track. Sorry, my nose. When I went to the dining room, this was a bit of a fancy school. I wasn't smart, it's just that my parents, I was very fortunate. My parents spent a lot of money to put me in this school. Interestingly, this school was kind of like Harry Potter. When you enter the school, you are assigned into a house randomly. A house meaning a group, right? In Harry Potter, you have Gryffindor, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, and Hufflepuff. In our school, it was like Clifford, Brownlow, Allen, and other things. I was assigned to Allen House, and their house tie. Generally, the uniform was the same, but the ties were slightly different colours. For my house, it was yellow, and for the other houses, like green, blue, red, and so on. When we took classes together, science class, it doesn't matter. It's a big mix of different houses, yeah? But every morning when you take attendance, when they check, Eric, here, John, here, Max, here, and so on, you go to a building, a special building on the campus just for that house, okay? And you keep all of your books and bags in this building for every house, yeah? But an interesting thing I noticed when it comes to groups, and for those of you who don't know, I studied psychology at university. That was my major. I'm naturally interested in the human brain, human behavior, and why we, do certain things. Back then, there were two types of groups. There were the house groups, but also there were the ethnic groups. African, Chinese, British. And I noticed that when it comes to the, dining room, when we went there to have lunch, sorry, I should say, what do we call it? Fudge. Anyway, cafeteria is the American word. I've forgotten the British word. Terrible, right? When we went to the cafeteria, people would usually separate or sit on different tables. Each table would sit maybe like 10 students. Kids, we usually stick with the same friend group, right? At lunch, it was almost always, 90% of the time, students would separate based on house groups or ethnic groups. Especially for the ethnic groups that were quite small, for example, Chinese, Actually, no, Chinese was quite big. Japanese, maybe Korean, like maybe just 2 or 3 students. Even if they're from a different house, they would sit together, usually. Because it's quite hard to find another person from their country, right? However, the Chinese students, they had a larger group, and usually, yes, again, they would group together and they would speak in Chinese, right? Of course, during classes, and most of the day, they would speak English. But when they were in a private room or, at lunch together with just Chinese people, they would probably speak their mother tongue, just because it's easier, right? But what was it? What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So, birds of a feather flock together. Yeah. And for the British children, we're all the same nationality. I think it was like 70% British. Most of them would gather together based on the house. Allen House on this table, the Green House on this table, and so on. Yeah. For me, I've never liked groups. I don't like following the crowd. I like being by myself, cool and independent. No, okay. But maybe it's because I didn't have a strong sense of identity. For me, because I grew up you can see I'm getting tired because I'm making lots of mistakes. I apologize. Let me reset. Because I grew up as a British child, nationality, but ethnically Chinese, I often felt different, right? I've never really felt British, but at the same time, I've never really felt Chinese. Because my mother tongue is English, but I can speak Chinese, but not to I'm fluent and I can speak quickly, but I make small mistakes, and you can tell when you listen to my pronunciation or grammar, it's a little off. So I never felt British because of my appearance, and I never felt Chinese because of my language abilities. So for me, I never felt like I belonged to a certain group. I had friends, and actually the friends I hung out with were all from different houses. There was one from each house. There was a person from Hong Kong, Britain, France, America. So we were quite a diverse group. And if you want to know, in dramas, they often have the different groups, like the sporty group, the nerdy group, the smart group. I was... What group was I in? We were kind of nerdy. When I say nerdy, I mean nerd is the typical image is wearing glasses. Okay, what video game should we play tomorrow? Okay, this is a big stereotype, okay? It's not true. There are many. If it is true, I think I'm probably one of them, and I'm more than happy to be a big nerd. I love video games and board games and things like that. But, yeah, so it's very interesting to see how people from different nationalities, groups, come together just because they share some sort of identity, whether it be nationality or a house. Yeah, and it's really interesting because sometimes you don't even like the people in your group, but especially in school, being with a group that you don't like is better than being alone. Sitting alone at lunch and just eating dinner by yourself, to a lot of people, is embarrassing. Social status and your image is so important to a lot of teenagers, right? As an adult, you don't care so much, and as you know, as we get older, we start to care less, which is why you often see elderly men who will do some weird things or just they don't care at all. But I think that's good to a certain extent. Yeah, it's good to not worry about what others think. But of course, you don't want to stand out too much and do something crazy. Because then you just scare other people. But yeah. Anyway, that was a long speech. So let me quickly read the comments. Oh, Jason, canteen, that's the word. Oh my gosh, Jason is more British than the British teacher himself. Well done, Jason, well done. And Maggie, well done. Yeah, canteen, that's the word. Thank you. I like being myself too when I have like, yeah, sometimes it's easier to have lunch by yourself, right? Where when you're eating, you just want silence, you just want to enjoy the food. But when you're with a group, or like, oh, a classic example is when the waiter comes, especially in the UK. I don't know about Japan and Asian countries, but often when you're eating your food, even if you're alone, the waiter will come and say, hey, how's the food? Or they'll say, is the food all right? And I think it's one of those rhetorical questions. A rhetorical question is just a question you ask, but you don't expect a serious or long answer. A classic example is, how are you? You say, yeah, fine, thanks. It's just a greeting or a common thing. But we don't expect you to say, oh, phew, I had the worst day today. Like, I had I broke up with my girlfriend because she said that I don't love her enough, I don't buy her enough love, or something like that, yeah? It's the same with the waiter. They'll say, hey, how's the food? And you might say, And if you're chewing, if you're currently chewing, you're like, and then you start choking because you swallowed too quickly. And then you just give up. And you say, yeah, good. Or you swallow and you say, yeah, it's good, thank you. And they say, yeah. And then they walk off. And then many people think, don't ask me when I'm eating, just leave me alone. I want to be by myself. It's quite funny. But another interesting cultural difference you'll see is that in the West, especially in America and the UK, waiters sometimes make small talk. They might say, and they make jokes. Like, for example, if there's something spicy on the menu, they might say, for example, you ask, oh, do you have any recommendations? They might say, how are you with spicy food? And I might say, yeah, I like spicy food. Well, I had this one last night. Ooh, I was on the toilet for an hour. Oh my, okay, maybe not that gross, but that kind of thing. They don't just give you this like answer response. They make a bit of small talk, which is quite nice. Especially in America. But in America, there's this tipping culture, which maybe they make small talk for the tip. They have an ulterior motive, but of course, not everyone. But yeah, it's a double-edged sword, small talk. Sometimes I want to be alone, but sometimes I really like this small talk, because it's nice. It's, being polite. But anyway, right. Let's have a look. I'm just going to quickly read some other comments from before. Maya says, a partner is a mirror. Ooh, I like that. Interesting. So maybe similar, right? When you look at your partner, you see the similar things of yourself. And then, ooh, new comment from Mio. I had always preferred foreigners, but my partner is very similar to myself. Interesting. Sometimes we often, choose our partner based on who is around us, right? There was some data about a study that found, I think, 70% of people marry somebody from school, 20% from the workplace, and 10% online, or something like that. So in other words, most people marry somebody they know, like, in their private life. Or work life, yeah. Rui Tomo, that's right. Rui wa Tomo yobu. I've heard of that Japanese phrase. Very good. But, what was it? The comments didn't scroll. I like to be alone because I don't like small talk, or I'm just terrible at it. I know what you mean. Before I became a teacher, I was very different. Especially in college, which is the American high school. I was so shy. And if I could look at myself now, I would be like, who is this guy? Who the heck? live streaming to people online and, you know, making these funny facial expressions, making jokes, I would never do that. But now it's second nature to me. It's very natural. It's something you get used to. Small talk, making jokes, and being confident. And this comes with self-love. We talked about this before. But yeah, practice makes perfect. But again, if you don't like small talk, if you prefer being alone, if you're an introvert, it's fine too. There's nothing wrong with that. Of course, as long as you're polite to the people who try to talk to you. You can just say, oh, I'm really sorry. What was it? I'm a bit, what was it? I just want to eat right now, so what was it? Actually, what is a polite way of declining small talk? Okay, I'm trying to think really hard right now. I'm using my 2 brain cells to think about this. I would just say, oh, I would pretend to be on my phone, and I would say, oh, I'm really sorry, I'm a bit busy right now. Can I talk to you later? And then, you know, I don't really mean I want to talk to them later, but I just say, I'm a bit busy right now, okay? Just, I'm busy right now is a bit too blunt. It's a bit too sudden, yeah? So maybe you can make it softer by saying thank you, right? Facial expression, the last word, there are lots of small techniques to make something more polite or change the nuance, but I won't talk about that today. Esther says, just say, huh, multiple times, or say, can you repeat that while smiling? So you just make them give up. You say, huh? What? Huh? And then hopefully they just give up and they say, oh, don't worry. That's a very roundabout way of doing it. Interesting. Please come to Japan. No one will talk to you in a restaurant. Maya, that's really interesting. Yeah, I do notice they don't talk to you in a restaurant. And when I went to Japan, the first few weeks, I thought, oh, this is great. No one talks to you. You can just press the button, get the ticket, and then, you know, many people describe Japan as an introvert's paradise because lots of things are automatic. But interestingly, the convenience stores are not automatic. You have to speak to a cashier. But restaurants, they are almost. Some of the family restaurants are automatic. You come in, you just say, hi, one person, and then when you sit down, you can order on your phone using a QR code, and then you can just go and pay at a self-service machine by yourself. So in most cases, Japan, super convenient for people who don't like talking to others. That's a reverse psychology. Yeah. Anyway, I think I should stop talking there. I think my stories are a bit boring, so I say that, but there are 30 people watching. But yeah, do you guys have any final questions? Otherwise, I need to go now because I've been streaming for 2.5 hours, and my brain, as you can see, as I get more and more tired, I start to make more mistakes. I'll start speaking slowly. I'm not drunk, I swear. This is not alcohol, okay? This is tea, I swear. I will prove it to you. You see the steam, the hot air? Okay, maybe you can't see it on the camera, but this is hot. But then again, people can have hot alcohol, so maybe that's not the best idea. But anyway, can you see my tea bag? I really need to be careful. I don't spill. Ah! I give up. But luckily, it didn't go on my keyboard. There you go. Stupid. Such an idiot. I promise, I did not do that on purpose. There are these people, you know, these streamers who would do stupid things, like, on purpose, right? They'll pretend it's an accident and do these stupid things on purpose. I promise you, that was not on purpose. Anyway. Thank you, Maya. This is これはお茶です. That was bad pronunciation. This is tea. This is actually what kind of tea? I think it's corn tea. I think this is Korean. It's really nice. I highly recommend it. I don't know what you call it. This is a kind of tea made from sweet corn. It's got a very unique, nice fragrance. It's not too sweet, but yeah, it just kind of smells like sweet corn. But there you go. Okay. Kev says, I don't see, I don't believe it. Kev, please. Okay, I'm gonna... Oh, it's pitch black. You can't see anything. Okay, right. You see this? You see the tea bag? Yeah? Okay, you cannot tell me I didn't prove it to you. That is 100% proof I'm drinking tea. Anyway, thank you, Yuka. I will be careful. When are you back? I'm not sure what you mean. Corn cha. Oh, yes. Is corn tea, what was it, popular in other countries? What kind of tea do you guys have? Do you have any unique types of tea that you would recommend to me? What is your recommendation? Please, no small talk. Can I think of... As you know, I'm from the UK. We drink tea all the time. I drink a lot. I still get dry lips. What is going on? Give me a second. It's probably I'm talking too much. Terrible. No good. Oh, I'm so hungry. It's 3:30 p.m. here in the UK. You can see it's still bright. I haven't had breakfast or lunch, so I need to eat soon because my stomach is rumbling. Yeah, rumbling is an onomatopoeia. It's a sound word. It's like rumbling, like a vibration sound. Yeah, my stomach is rumbling means I'm hungry. It's very embarrassing if your stomach rumbles in class, right? Everybody can hear, and you're like, wasn't me. Not me. Yeah. Let's see. Rooibos tea. Yes, rooibos tea is also very popular here in the UK. That's a nice one. Yeah. Please eat something. Thank you, Nora. Thank you. I will. I'm gonna stuff myself because I'm starving. Oh, this is a nice phrase. Sorry, I'm giving you lots of idioms, but when we are really hungry in the UK, we say, I could eat a horse. I could eat a horse. I don't know why we say horse and not cow, because we don't normally eat horse here in the UK. We normally eat pork, beef, chicken. Sometimes you can find horse meat, but it's very rare. But yeah, I don't know why we say I could eat a horse. Very strange. Fafa learnt this phrase. Very well done. Yeah. So if you're very hungry, just say, I'm starving, or I could eat a horse. In Japanese, they have a really funny phrase. I apologize. I keep using Japanese phrases because I only know Cantonese and Japanese. But they say, お腹と背中がくっつきそう, which means, like, my back and stomach is gonna stick. So if you imagine you're really hungry, your stomach is like very thin. If you imagine me like this, I'm very thin. So my back and stomach, it's like so small that it's gonna stick together. There's like, it's empty, right? That's quite interesting. I love that phrase. Do you guys have any special idioms or phrases to describe when you're really hungry? What do you guys say in your country? I'm sure there are lots of interesting examples from Europe. Like, I'm so hungry I could eat my baby. Okay, maybe not. That's a bad example. That would be scary. Let's see. When do I live stream? I live stream usually on Saturdays from 1 p.m. UK time. Next week it will be 12:30 p.m. UK time. ABC what, Lynn? Ohara pickle. Ah, that's right, that's right. That's a very cute way of saying it. It sounds cute, pickle. I'm sorry, I can't read Chinese, so you might have to explain that to me. Uh, Nanka otabe? Oh, thank you. I just realized. I thought that was an idiom, but Maya is being very kind and telling me to eat something. Uma! Yeah, that would be delicious. But there we go. Okay. あかんあかん。方言出てきた. Anyway, why is it when I'm doing the lesson, there are less people, but when I'm getting ready to leave, there's more people? Guys, you gotta come on time. You gotta come earlier, because I wanna help more people. I wanna share my English knowledge with you guys, but I also wanna have lunch. I don't want my back and stomach to stick together. I don't want to eat a horse. I could eat a horse, but I don't want to. So, you guys, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. By the way, isn't it really late in Japan, China, Korea? It's like, wait, it's midnight. I guess it's Friday night, so it's okay to stay up late. I feel like an old man these days. Because I have dry lips, I drink a lot. I try to drink a lot. But then, if I drink a lot before I go to bed, I wake up in the middle of the night and I have to go to the toilet, like, I don't know, 2, 3 times? And then, also, I go to bed at I went to bed at 9:30 yesterday, 9:30. That's so early, right? Oof. I mean, I did wake up at 5 a.m., but yeah, I'm getting old. Well, I'm not that old. I'm 29, but I feel old. I feel old. Going to the toilet all the time, going to bed before 10 p.m. Oh my gosh. In French, j'ai l'estomac. Oh, stomach? Dans les talons. I apologize, Cecile. My French is terrible. Let me guess. My stomach, your stomach, talons, like a claw. I'm not sure. Oh, there we go. You're so charming that I can't stop. Maya, are you hitting on me? Are you hitting on me? Be careful. You have a husband, I think. I have a stomach in my heels. Oh, is it because... So, your heel, everybody. Your heel. I can't... I'm actually not flexible. I can't move my leg to show you, but your heel is the back part of your foot. It's the opposite side of your toe. You know, because that's way easier. Like, holy moly. Wait, can you guys see my screen? Ah, my PC froze. Sorry, give me a second. My PC occasionally will freeze for 5 seconds. There we go. Okay, we're back. So, let me show you my second screen. Can you guys see my screen? Oh, my PC is breaking. So, your heel is the thick part of your foot. It's behind your toes, okay? So, yeah. But anyway, that's very interesting. So your stomach kind of drops down to your heels. Wow. There we go. All right. So, I think I'm going to have to end it there, guys. I have to go because, like, I'm going to die. My brother will come into my room and... Oh, like this. Or something like that. Oh, I feel my stomach rumbling, so... I have to escape to... Oh, okay, I found it. Sorry. Heel. Here we go. It's this red part of the foot. The plantar fasciitis. Yeah, it's this part. But actually, no, I lie. It's this part, but also the back part here. Yeah, can you see my magnifying glass? Often, if you wear shoes that have a low cut, like, for example, can I draw a picture? No, I can't. Oh, no. But you will often get a very sore part of the heel here. So it's here and here, okay? And if you know the legend of Achilles... Oh, okay, this is actually the better word. If you want to talk about this part, it's called the Achilles heel, okay? Now, if you don't know, Achilles is a Roman god. He was a god of war. And what was the reason why he was famous is because he was so strong, but his one weak point was his heel. Okay? And this was because he was like dipped in the water. Achilles, dip, river. So his mother... Sorry, I should stop soon. Oh, this is a terrible picture. This one? Is this one better? Please? Oh, okay. His mother, as a baby, dipped him in the river Styx. In Japanese, Sanzu no Kawa. Like Hades, Hercules, that kind of thing. It was a magical river. And the river had special powers. It made him invincible. He was very strong. But because she was holding him by the heel, his heel didn't touch the water. So it was his weak point, and later he died because an arrow hit him in the heel. And actually that's why we call this part of the leg is called the Achilles heel. Okay? But also in English, Achilles heel has two meanings. It means the physical part of the body, like I damaged my Achilles heel, but it also means a weak point. His Achilles heel is public speaking. Now I will say we don't use this that often, but some people do say Achilles heel as weak point. My Achilles heel is presentations. I hate presentations. I always feel so nervous. Yeah. Okay. I just saw a comment, Maya saying, I have a boyfriend, that's why you're less on self-worth. So, Maya, you need to teach your boyfriend about the love languages. And all of you guys too. Teach your boyfriends, your girlfriends, your parents, your friends. Tell them how to love you and other people. Sorry, I went off topic. Achilles heel, weak point. Okay? So, I'm gonna finish the stream here. Okay, any final questions? Please? No, I'm just kidding. I'm very used to not eating, so if you have any questions, YouTube is on this side. Hello Talk is on this side. So, I think we'll end it there. Let me check the Boombaclat. Anyway, you can end the live stream. Thank you, Yuka. I think I will. Alright, so we're going to end it there. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please join me next week if you have time. But don't worry, I do my best to record these live streams so that if you miss it, you can watch it on my YouTube channel. I will quickly... I'll quickly send a link to my channel. If you're watching on YouTube, you already know my channel. But I'll quickly send a link to my YouTube so you can find the recordings and podcasts and other stuff that I do. I don't have a big channel. I'm very small. So don't expect too much. But this is my channel for you guys on Hello Talk. Okay? Thank you very much, Maya. It was really nice to chat to you. And you did a lot of English practice today. Great stuff. Thank you, Yuka, Fafa, May, and all of you in the audience. I see, holy moly, there's so many people. A lot of you a lot of you have Chinese names, which I can't read. I'm Chinese, but I can't read Chinese. I can read kanji, Japanese words, like, chishiki, knowledge, and jiten, in encyclopedia, is it? But, yes. So you can follow me on YouTube. I have podcasts and I try to upload videos or live streams. Every week I will do something. I try. Yeah, okay. So thank you all so much. It was so fun. The reason why I can stream for so long, like 2-3 hours, is because it was just so fun talking to you guys and hearing your answers, and you guys taught me a lot as well. For example, that French phrase I heard earlier, I can't remember it. I'm not a very good student. But thank you, everyone. Good night. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Okay, let me press the button here. See you. And then stop streaming there. Bye, YouTube. See you, Maya. And Mio, I think it was. Bye.